You wake up to a shadow and a delicate white bowl. Your breath catches in your throat because you know this bowl. You've seen it carried to countless women before you. And you know exactly what's inside. Poison. Its only job is to make sure your royal pregnancy, your child, never sees the light of day. But today, the poisoning doesn't go as planned. And that one failure is about to change the course of Chinese imperial history. In our last episode, we saw Wan Zhen'er raised from a maid to the most feared woman in China. After losing her own son, she vowed that no other woman would ever provide the emperor with an heir. Today, that vow meets its match. So let's get into it. Standing over her son's grave, Lady Wan understood two things. One, she could lose her son. And two, she couldn't afford to lose her position. And the only way she knew how to protect the second was to make sure that no other woman in the palace got to keep what she had lost. So she built a network, a complicated and deeply integrated network of eunuchs, physicians, and palace maids, placed across every wing of the inner palace, with one singular job: watch the harem and report the moment any woman showed signs of pregnancy. This isn't a legend. The empire's own official record wrote it in black and white. After 1466, countless women in the inner palace were fed drugs to force miscarriages. That phrase is pretty stark. Countless women. And one of those victims was a consort named Lady Bai. She had given birth the same year that Huang Gui Fei lost her own son, which tells you exactly how unbearable the timing of that birth must have been for her. But what's unusual here is this son only lived to the age of 2 before dying under circumstances that the record calls suspicious. There was no doubt in the whispers between the palace servants exactly who was responsible for this act. Huang Gui Fei was the main suspect. She was so feared that the most powerful woman in the palace, the new Empress, Huang Huangho, had watched exactly what happened to the Empress before her, and she decided not to fight at all. She let Huang Gui Fei have the emperor. She stayed quiet and she stayed away. And because of that, she would go on to outlive everybody in this story. But quiet survival like that wasn't an option for the court itself. The emperor still had no surviving heir. The ministers were concerned, and his mother, well, she was furious. The emperor was so devoted to Lady Wan, regardless of what she was costing him. So his mother stopped asking, and instead she started acting. The Empress Dowager began to quietly move palace women into rooms where the emperor might find them alone. It was subtle, and it didn't always work. But she only needed it to work once. And it did. It worked in the palace treasury on a night that the emperor had some free time and wanted to read. He came across a maid named Lady Ji. She's recorded as being sharp and intelligent, and she succeeded in her job of seducing the emperor. She became pregnant, and Huang Gui Fei found out almost immediately. And she did what she always did. She sent a palace maid with a bowl of poison to end the pregnancy. So we're back in that room now, waking up and seeing that bowl in her hand. We don't know exactly what the maid was thinking because the records don't record her side of the story. What they tell us instead is what she did. She looked at Lady Ji, and whether it was pity, past friendship, or future prospects, she decided not to give her the poison. She poured it out, and then she returned to Huang Gui Fei and reported that Lady Ji wasn't pregnant at all, that the pregnancy had been a misdiagnosis of stomach issues. She lied to her and convinced her that it was a false alarm. And Lady Ji was sent to Anle Hall to live out the rest of her days. And while she was there, she gave birth to her son. The cries alerted a gate eunuch, who also decided to take pity on Lady Ji, and he hid them both away in the oldest, most forgotten wing of the Forbidden City. She became, in essence, a ghost in that palace. It's recorded that Huang Gui Fei searched for that child every day, but never found him. They would stay hidden there for 5 years, surviving on rice water, powdered food mixed with honey, and whatever scraps the maids who were in on the secret could smuggle him. His hair was never cut, styled, nor maintained. And in a shocking turn of events, the woman who helped hide them, who helped keep this secret for 5 straight years, was none other than the deposed Empress Wu. From part 1, the Empress who had been stripped of her title and banished in the first month of her marriage, back when the court tried to use her to block Huang Gui Fei from ever holding the exact type of power she currently held. She had nothing left to lose, and so she helped. And it's staggering that this system managed to work for 5 years. You have to remember, this was a small network of maids, a eunuch who decided he wanted to save the baby, and a woman with no title left, all protecting and raising a royal heir right under the nose of Huang Gui Fei's spy network. And yet, not a single one of them broke. In 1475, it's recorded that the emperor was with his attendants, talking about his hair going gray and lamenting about having no heir, about the dynasty having no future. After all, he had been sitting on the throne for 11 years at this stage. And his grief must have been intense because that one eunuch that I briefly mentioned earlier, well, that was His Majesty's personal attendant. His name was Zhangmin, and he couldn't hold the secret of that boy in any longer. He dropped to his knees and he told the emperor everything. About the pregnancy he knew that he was supposed to report. About the 5 years of hiding. The secret son who was alive right now, nestled away in the other end of the Forbidden City. The emperor asked to see the boy immediately. And when he walked in, he was wearing a coarse red robe, and his hair is reported to have grazed the ground as he walked towards his father. When the Chenghua Emperor looked at this boy, he saw himself staring back, and the records say he wept. The boy was named Crown Prince that day, and nobody was going to be surprised by how Huang Gui Fei would react to this news. After all, she had been lied to for years. She had been searching to no avail for years. Out of sheer fear, the Empress Dowager, who had spent decades watching exactly what Huang Gui Fei was capable of, didn't wait or waste time. She immediately took the boy into her palace. He was assigned a personal guard to watch him around the clock. She wasn't taking any chances. Not now, and not with this much on the line. She would go on to raise that boy just as diligently as Wan Zhen'er had raised her son, the emperor. Now, the boy was completely protected and he was out of Wan's reach. But not everybody was that lucky. Zhangmin didn't wait to find out what that fury looked like for him. He decided to drink liquid gold, and he ended his own life instead of facing Wan's wrath. Even after doing the one right thing in this entire story, it wasn't quite enough to guarantee his safety. That's just how afraid of her he truly was. Now, something would go on to happen that will make you question the thinking at the time. The ministers, who were fully aware of the dangers Huang Gui Fei posed towards any royal heir, still insisted that the young crown prince be moved under her care, and that his mother, Lady Ji, should also be moved closer to the crown prince and Huang Gui Fei, so that the boy could see his mother daily. And surprisingly, despite all of the red flags, the emperor agreed to this. And I'm sure you will not be surprised to hear that within 1 month, Lady Ji was dead. Officially, she is recorded to have died from a sudden illness. Unofficially, it was almost immediately labeled as poison. And contrary to popular belief that's often seen portrayed in palace dramas, Huang Gui Fei did not send a yellow robe to Lady Ji when she was dying. We don't really know what Huang Gui Fei was doing around this time. All we know for certain is that this woman, who had hidden in the palace for 5 years, was dead shortly after Huang Gui Fei finally got near her. After Lady Ji's death, the speculation about Huang Gui Fei was immense. And the emperor's response to the speculation? The emperor's response was something that had never been done before in the entire history of Chinese imperial rule. He named Huang Gui Fei as Huang Gui Fei, Imperial Noble Consort. He created a new rank that sat directly below the Empress specifically for her. She received a full investiture ceremony, including envoys, a golden book, and her own personal golden seal. For context, these are all the exact ritual objects that were used to crown an empress. And if you've ever watched C-dramas like Rui's Royal Love in the Palace, then you've seen this ceremony before. The golden seal, the formal coronation-level investiture. But what those shows don't tell you is where all of that started. It started here, with her, in 1476. And it was a title that went on to survive until the end of Imperial China. But now we need to look and really think about what the timing of this title actually says. There was a crown prince now. The succession was secure. The exact thing she had spent years trying to prevent had happened anyway, and it happened publicly in front of the entire court. And the emperor's answer to this was to hand her a title that had never existed before, one that was extravagant, and most importantly, one that said, "None of what has happened in the past changes anything about her position in my life. She still comes first, and she always will." He was still shielding her, even now, even after all of it. And that title should have been the end of this fight, but it wasn't. Coming up in part 3, we reach the final years, an attempted swap of the crown prince, an earthquake that changes the course of the dynasty, 3 different accounts of how she actually died, and what the hidden prince, now grown, now an emperor himself, chose to do about the woman the entire court wanted him to destroy. So subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss the next one. Thank you so much for watching. As always, the more you know.